Hey everyone, Tory from Cosmos Gaming here, and I'm hanging out with Nick Santini. Did I say that correctly?
Santino.
I fucked up. I'm so sorry. I'm hanging
right.
out with Nick Santino, and we are somewhere in New Jersey. Just kidding, we're actually in Nutley, New Jersey. So Nick, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little tired, but I'm doing
tired.
all right. Yeah.
So you are from Massachusetts, and you actually just played there on this tour.
Yeah, yesterday.
So how was the homecoming?
It was cool. Had a lot of family. It was my nephew's
Aw.
first birthday, so he came out.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it was cool.
And overall, how are you doing on this tour so far? What's the
It's,
crowd reaction? How's everything going?
Yeah, it's small, but I mean that's kind of what we expected. We made it like kind of intimate and small. But it's cool. I mean, I'm out here with all my friends and all the other acts that are playing, so it's really something that you enjoy doing. I think it makes it a lot more enjoyable when you're with all your friends in the band and you're touring and playing music. So.
Yeah, makes sense. It's pretty logical
Yeah.
when you're all together. I mean, you've been in the music industry for a while. Am I
yeah.
allowed to talk about the old band?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yes, you were in a Rocket to the Moon, and now you were doing a solo career.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny, in my opinion, that Rocket to the Moon was so much different than your new sound, because you are more of a rock country type of guy now, in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked that stuff, and I've always kind of written like that on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Rocket, I was writing songs with other guys in the band, so it wasn't really just 100% me writing music, And I think now that it's 100% me, it's like that sound kind of just shows more,
And now, have you grown up on country music?
Not really. I grew up on like my dad's stuff, my mom's stuff, like the Eagles, and James Taylor, and the Beatles, and all that.
So overall, who is your biggest inspiration in music then today?
Probably Tom Petty.
Tom Petty? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see him in concert
I did.
about a year or two ago?
I saw him this summer. It was like in August.
Oh, how was it?
It was great. Yeah.
Sounds good. And so so a lot of your inspiration comes from Tom Petty?
From Petty, from all those kind of guys, but I mean, I admire his songwriting and his song. How he can write such a simple song with like 2 verses and like a 1-line chorus, and it can be like the catchiest song you've ever heard.
If you ever had the opportunity to meet Tom Petty, what would you say to him?
I don't know. That's the thing is like.
Would you ask him a question?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't want to meet Tom Petty just to keep that mystery. You know what I mean? Like, it would be cool to meet him, but in case he's like a jerk to me or something, I never want to. I'm like cool with not meeting him. It would be cool to meet him, but I'm fine with not meeting him and just having him always be Tom Petty.
Always be. All right, fair enough. Now, if there was someone that you could meet in the music industry, who would it be and why? And what would you ask them?
Probably Paul McCartney.
Okay.
He would just be cool because everybody would love to meet Paul
Yeah,
McCartney.
facts.
And I don't even know where I would begin with someone like Paul McCartney.
Maybe like, hi, I'm Nick.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't know what question to ask first because he's already been asked every question in the world,
Probably. Maybe I should interview him.
Yeah, you should.
I actually wanted to start talking about your full-length first album, which is Big Skies.
Yeah.
And so, off of that album, I'm sure you get this question all the time, but I want to know, what is your favorite song off that album?
Yeah, I don't know. It's always hard to say when people ask that because I wrote them all and they're all kind of like my kids, so it's kind of hard to pick your favorite. And I guess they all have things that I like a lot about each one. Ranging from lyrics to guitar solos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard to pick, but I mean, they're all over the place. Like, Keep On Going is a good one, and It Is What It Is the cool one. Like, they're all very different, so it's really hard to say, but I like the whole thing.
Fair enough, all of them. And then what was the process behind this album? What was your mindset? What were you going through during this time?
I was just writing about current experiences and that has happened to me, or at this time I was writing the record. And I did it out in Phoenix, and that had a lot of inspiration on it too, because it was just like a great vibe recording it with my friends out there, and we didn't have any pressure from labels or anything like that, so it was very free, and so I could kind of get away with singing certain things or saying certain things or playing certain styles or putting certain instruments on songs that labels would usually be like, nah, it's too country, you can't put a slide guitar on there, where I didn't have that this time, so I could kind of get away with doing all of that. So being out there and doing it in that and having that be the process, so laid back like that was itself like a big inspiration on the record.
Now, what can you tell kids at home that look up to you that want to be either in a band or do a solo? What would you tell them?
Probably just to keep at it, because not everybody is the person that can throw up a video on YouTube and become an overnight sensation. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's happening way too common these days.
It happens all the time now,
Yeah.
but I mean, for the people that are like truly in love with music and they want to make it something, those are the ones that, you know, bust their ass a little harder for it. And I think you can't get down when things don't go your way, because you could be, you know, you could have the light at the end of the tunnel tomorrow and you have no idea, and if you threw in the towel today you wouldn't get there, you know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Exactly. So I think it's a cliche answer, but I think you just got to keep going at it and not let the little stupid things get you down, you know. It's not going to always go your way, I guess, you know?
Have there ever been a time in your life where you're like, you just wanted to throw in the towel, or have you always just kept pushing through it?
That's all the time, but I wouldn't actually do it, because if I were to do that, and I would be working at some crappy job, and I'd be like, I wish I was on the road making music right now, even if it was to 5 kids in a church basement, you know. So yeah, it's like, it happens all the time. You get a flat tire on the side of the road in the middle of a tour, and you're like, I want to go home. You know, it's like every little, you get a sore throat, and you're like, I want to go home, I'm done with this, you know. So there's a lot of little things that make you want to go home, but I don't think I could ever do it.
Now, speaking of, like, you know, flat tires or anything, because that just kind of reminded me, if you're on the road and something happens, what do you do? And what is also the hardest thing about being away from home?
Hardest thing is probably just being away from home, being away from the things that you are used to, like, you know, family, girlfriends, pets, you know, all of that stuff.
Do you have any pets?
Yeah, I have.
What do you have?
I have a dog at my house, and then my other dog is at my parents' house. They kind of have him. He's a bulldog. He's a lot to handle, so I could. There's no one to take care of.
You'll see him in a distance.
Yeah, and I just got a cat. He's a little punk.
He's a little frisky.
Yeah, he's still a little guy, so he's kind of annoying.
And that's actually all the time we have. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Man, I guess just keep at it. Keep checking out whatever I'm doing. I have a lot planned, and I don't really know details on things, but I just know we want to be busy with doing stuff. So.
Where can people follow you at?
Twitter, my name, Nick Santino. Instagram, Nick Santino. I have Facebook, all that stuff. It's 2014.
All that shenanigans. I feel like everyone
Google
has it.
You'll find it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate this. And yeah, check him out, Nick, if you haven't already, because he is fantastic.